few days ago, he won a very big election in Canada. I think I was probably the greatest thing that happened to him, but I can't take full credit.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. I'm on the edge of my seat, actually. But thank you for your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a transformational president.
Canada is a very special place to me. I know so many people that live in Canada. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, how good, the great one. You happen to have a very, very good hockey player right here on the Capitals, who I have a lot of respect. He is a big, tough cookie, too. He just broke the record. Takes two to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. When you get rid of that artificially drawn line, somebody drew that line many years ago with like a ruler, just a straight line right across the top of the country.
As you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace, that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together.
You're getting a lot of comments here. And of course, on our Big Five panel about an hour ago, you listened to Paul Gott, says total success. You listen to Neil Drapkin, not convinced at all. I'm going to split the difference here. Maybe it wasn't a grand slam, but I don't think it was a strikeout. I think it was a solid single or a double or a triple maybe. Let me go to Tasha Kheiriddin now, writer, commentator. You can read her at the National Post and on her Substack, among other places. Tasha, welcome back to the program.
Hey, Elias.
So you heard that wonderful montage that we put together here.
It was very nice.
Let me ask you, Tasha. Well, what do you say? How did Prime Minister Carney do in D.C.?
Well, I think he did as well as he could. Honestly, I think the thing you don't get from your montage is the body language. I watched it. Carney looked like at moments he just could not believe what he was hearing and probably wanted to disappear. I don't blame him because Trump was saying crazy things. The thing about the ruler, he said other stuff, the usual stuff about $200 billion we pay for Canada. Just like droning on about these things. And Carney was looking around, almost like I said, trying to figure out how do I am I hearing this? I would love to know the monologue in his head. But that's the impression I got. But he kept his calm, he kept his cool through all the rivers of BS that Trump was spouting at certain points. And he made some, gave a couple lines, like the line about the real estate. I'm sure they prepared that. Apparently in private, he also raised the issue of, Canada's not for sale, like cut it out. But the relationship was positive. Trump did not Zelensky him, not even close. Called him Mark, did not call him governor. The vibe was, I would say it was a little tense, just like I said, from Carney's perspective, I felt a little tension, but it was overall as good as it could be. It was a huge step up from with Trudeau. So I think it was a win from that perspective. It's a start. And we'll see what comes next. There's Kananaskis coming up and other meetings too.
So, when you heard Mark Carney say, I'm on the edge of my seat, he was referring to Donald Trump teasing a big announcement that he's going to make.
Right.
But on the body language front, he literally was on the edge of the seat. And he was teetering back and forth at times. You could see him biting his lip, especially.
Yep. His face is like more like his jaw and his eyes sometimes, and he would like dart them around the room. And maybe he was looking at Jolie and Dominic LeBlanc, who were sitting on the sofa to his left or to his right. You couldn't really tell. He was trying to, the one thing he didn't do as well as maybe he could have was get into the conversation. He would raise his hand to, speak. That's not how things work in the Oval Office. Yeah. It's much more, with the press pool, you got to be more aggressive. But I think he didn't want to Bigfoot Trump either. Because,
and good luck Trump trying that. Good luck trying to do that there.
Right. So I think, some people criticized him. Oh, he's raising his hand, didn't get... Well, okay, you know what? At the end of the day, less is maybe more in this case anyway.
Yeah, and that is the nitpicking there when you go into that. But let me ask you, I would say on I think the real positive side of things, just the difference in how Donald Trump treats Mark Carney compared to how he treated the last guy. And 100%. And one of those moments, right, when Donald Trump was talking about Chrystia Freeland, right? And it really did juxtapose what I think it seems pretty clear. And have you seen the White House and their Twitter over the last 12 hours. Their posts, their sizzle reel that was really good for Mark Carney as well. So
was it? Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Good. I mean, the photos that were chosen by the press did not show Carney scowling. They were the smiling, laughing, joking, and there was between the two men. There was the punching on the arm sort of thing, or the tapping on the leg, and like you have a little bits of physical interaction. So, I will check out. I do try and keep up, but I haven't checked their feed, but I will now.
The White House Twitter X, right? The video they posted is almost like love letter to Canada, by the way, like trying to repair that side of things. I thought that was interesting. But to that end, right? Are they? It seems like Donald Trump respects Mark Carney, and I wonder how you think that plays out over the next little while.
Yeah, I think that he does respect him, certainly more than he did the last guy, as you put it. And I think that respect is key to maintain because, Trump's a guy that if you get under his skin or on his bad side, he doesn't forgive, right? I mean, he did, I would say, forgive Zelensky. He did have a meeting with Zelensky in the Vatican after, the horrible meeting in the Oval Office. But the reason that he flipped on that is because of Putin. I don't think it's because he loves Zelensky. I think he feels like Putin, pulling one over on him, as he said, playing him. Or the words he used were a bit different, but that's the essence of them. So I think that's what changed his tone with Zelensky. I don't think it's that he suddenly, loves Zelensky or respects Zelensky. It's like, oh, the other guy's now pulling one over on me, so now you're my friend. So I think that's more what it is, that he's looking for a win on Ukraine, and he'll get it no matter who. Is the person he has to play. In this case, it's different because if Carney gets on Trump's bad side, there's no, it will just be on the bad side. There's no way to win that back. There's no foil for Canada in this picture, like Putin is for Zelensky. So we, to have negotiations with him, we need to maintain that level of respect, and that is also a two-way street. And I think Carney's smart on that. Trudeau was not. Trudeau was happy to needle Trump and, say that basically he shouldn't have been elected, that they should have elected a woman. He did say that after the dinner that they had quite publicly, implying Harris should have won.
Yeah.
Like, you say that stuff, Trump's going to hate you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, but maybe, I don't know what Trudeau was fully thinking there, but, maybe he wasn't thinking. Carney is smarter than that.
So let me just ask you, Tasha, to wrap up here, because you remember and I played this earlier on in the program. It was at the end of March when Mark Carney said, the words to this effect, like the relationship between Canada and the U.S. that we've had is over, right? Very definitive and a very stark. And it certainly seems from yesterday that the truth of the matter is, yes, Donald Trump, he's a wild and crazy guy, and he just says what's coming out of his mouth. But it certainly seems like, nope, we still got this relationship. The Canada-U.S. relationship is not going anywhere. Even if we've got, a tumultuous time because Donald Trump, flies by the seat of his pants. What do you say to that on whether our relationship truly has changed, or at the end of the day, we're going to get deals done like we've always done?
No, it's truly changed. It's truly changed because, even if we get deals done, the path to those deals is different now. We weren't dealing with someone like Trump who can love you one day and then hate you the next, and very mercurial, does not deal in facts. Deals in lies, like the $200 billion. Like, it's premise.
But we had that for 4 years, Tasha. I mean, I get your point, but he was president once before. We dealt with all that stuff. He was spouting the same kind of stuff the first time around.
No, but it wasn't as bad in the sense that he didn't have a larger agenda like he does now with the rest of the world, of which Canada's a piece, the sort of hegemonic, we want to take you over, 51st state. Like, that stuff wasn't on the radar. When we negotiated CUSMA, it was a trade negotiation, and it really was focused. There were tariffs, sure, there was that stuff going on, but it wasn't this larger, let's eat Greenland, take Panama, rename Gulf of Mexico. Like, none of that was going on.
Yeah.
So it's different. There's a different feel, and because of that, we are a piece of a puzzle now. It's not just about us. Before, it was more about us. Now there's there's wars in Ukraine to settle. There's Gaza to turn into a resort. Like, all sorts of weird things that are coming out of the White House, and you're like, what's the grand design here? And how do we fit in? So I think we have to keep that in mind too, is that what's their play, right? You can't just, it's not just our relationship. Keep your eye on other stuff. So that changes things.
The expansionist stuff, clearly that has changed, obviously.
Yeah.
But on the trade deal side of things, like he was saying bonkers stuff about the relationship between Canada and the U.S. trade-wise. Maybe they were different zombie lies, but he was still delivering those zombie lies over that first term. Tasha, I got to leave it there. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye, Elias.
Tasha Kheiriddin, make sure you read her words in the National Post and on her Substack, among other places.